It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to the Indian School of Business and this first summit on Indian manufacturing competitiveness. As you already know, this conference is being co-hosted by the ISB and the Global Institute at the Stern School of Business, the Krannert School of Management, and Deloitte Research. At this time, I would like to request all of you to switch off your cell phones because it's kind of is disturbing not just to the audience, to the speakers also. So please take a moment and switch off your cell phones. Thank you. Without any delay, let's start with the conference. So it gives me real pleasure to actually introduce our Dean, Professor Ram Mohan Rao. He has been an outstanding scholar all throughout his career, and he joined the ISB as the Dean in July 2004. Prior to this, he was at the Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, and also served as a faculty member at the Stern School of Business of New York University. He has published extensively in almost all reputed scholarly journals in OR and has received numerous awards for research and teaching. And the most notable award, at least for me, is the Fulkerson Prize that he won. The Fulkerson Prize is sponsored by the Mathematical Programming Society and the American Mathematical Society, and is given for pioneering work in the field of math programming. He has also won several awards for management education. So ladies and gentlemen, I would request Professor Rao to come and give the welcome address. Thank you.
Just upright this. This one.
This one, backward.
Which is the forward?
This is forward, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all for this summit on Indian manufacturing competitiveness. We at the ISB are indeed very fortunate that Dr. Anant, as the director of Indian Institute of Technology at Chennai, I think at Chennai, but it's still called, if I'm not, IIT Madras, because registered as IIT Madras at Chennai. At Chennai now, I guess. Indeed, we are fortunate that he kindly agreed to be present and give the keynote address. I thought what I will do is very briefly talk about Center for Manufacturing, Logistics and Supply Chain Management, which we will be starting later this year with Professor Viswanathan as the Executive Director, who will be joining us later this year. As you know, ISB is a research-driven institute. We want all our faculty to do excellent research, publish in internationally reputed professional journals. And as part of promoting this research culture, research environment, we are planning to have 6 centers of excellence. The 2 centers that are already in existence and have had a considerable amount of activities are the Wadhwani Center for Entrepreneurship Development, which was started in 2002. We have an executive director now, and a number of activities have been going on, the recent one being the Thai ISB Connect that was held a few weeks back. The other center is the Center for Analytic Finance, which was started about a year ago, and that also has a number of activities, and the most recent one was a conference on microfinance. The third center to be started is later this year is the Center for Manufacturing, Logistics and Supply Chain Management, about which I will talk to you briefly. But the other 3 centers, which will probably take a few years before we have them, one is the Center of Excellence in Strategic Marketing. As part of that center, we will be starting the Consumer Behavior Lab, which probably sometime later this calendar year, and next year we'll have sometime next year we hope to start the center. The other 2 centers will be Technology Management Center and the Center for Leadership and Change Management, which will probably take a little longer. So our vision is to be research-driven school with doing cutting-edge research, and at the same time have our flagship postgraduate program that grooms leaders not only for India but for the world. So the Center for Manufacturing is, the vision for that is to be the knowledge partner of choice for government and industry on manufacturing, logistics, and supply chain management issues, strategies, and policies in Asia. This is as in Asia, not just in India. We would like to influence policies all over Asia. Basically, the Institute's focus is also on emerging markets, and we'll continue the same philosophy in our centers also. So the operating model, I'm not sure how well you can see that with those colors, but basically our resources are faculty at the center, permanent faculty at the ISB, plus we also have we'll be hiring some research fellows, research associates. In addition, we will be having faculty that visit the institute some visit the institute, visit the school for 1 year, some come for 3 months, 3 to 6 months, some are here just for 5 weeks. They would all be, those who are in this area of manufacturing, logistics, and supply chain management would be involved in this center. In addition, our aim is to get faculty from the industry for short periods, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, because they can't spend too much time here. And they would help us in identifying issues for research and problems that would be of immediate interest to the industry. We plan to have an advisory committee, and our business development office will interface with the industry and provide the necessary support. The activities of the center one is education, short duration executive education programs, customized internal training for the various organizations, but a lot of emphasis on research. That's what will be the driving force behind this center. The research will be in logistics and in IT-related research, and certain sectors. We have identified 3 sectors, but at least initially to concentrate on the automotive, pharma, and the retail sectors. As we build the center, we'll be having more, we'll enhance our research activities in the other sectors as well. In terms of the activities for the industry specifically, we plan to have a supply chain management forum, conduct workshops, conferences, and some market benchmarking studies, including possibly competitiveness and related issues. Of course, the people who would be using our services would be individuals, government, and corporations. So executive education is going to be part of the activities of the center. The agenda for the next year, 2006-07, would be to have 5-day short course on global manufacturing strategies. Professor Viswanathan has an outline of this program. And have 3 one-day courses, one on India Logistics, one will be India Logistics Summit, Auto Logistics and Supply Chain Management, and Pharmaceutical Supply Chains. These are the 3 planned, but of course, depending upon the interest, the industry, we may add more or change some of these. 2 one-day workshops are planned, one retail management and RFID trends and opportunities. We also want to have an annual conference, a 2-day annual conference, or maybe 3 days, I don't know. Following the lead that Shankar Day has done for the Analytic Finance Center, we intend to have a conference 1 day for the practitioners, 1 or 2 days for the practitioners, followed by a research conference that will hopefully will be able to get academics involved and follow a similar model here also. And we'll start this out next year. In fact, this morning we were discussing what would be a good timing for this. Should not clash with the activities of the other centers. So sometime possibly in August, but the dates have not been fixed. We want to make that an annual conference. Initially, we may start a little on the, let's say, on a lower key compared to the following years, I guess, compared to at least the other centers, because among other things, Professor Viswanathan will be joining us only in November, December time. So we won't have that much time for planning for the annual conference. But nevertheless, we will start next year in August, possibly August. We haven't decided on the dates. And that will become an annual feature, annual conference, both for people from the industry, practitioners, as well as the academics. We'll be able, hope to attract a number of academics from all over the world. And we'll also have some expert seminars as part of the executive education activities of the center. So we want to start the ISB Supply Chain Forum, which will have members from the Asian and international third-party logistics suppliers, companies, public sector, and government organizations. We also want to involve public sector and government organizations so that we will be able to influence some of the policies of the government. Leading researchers and students would also form part of this forum. The forum will focus on ways to create business value through productive use of new strategies, technologies, techniques, and methodologies. So what are the benefits to these forum members, at least for the corporate world and other organizations? We will be able to provide knowledge and training resources, and they will have access to benchmarking studies with recommendations and strategies for performance improvement, training on new technologies, methodologies, and applications. It also provides them an opportunity, networking opportunities to interact with current and future industry leaders from across the region. And equally important would be access to world-class experts in the area we hope to attract either as visiting faculty or for the conferences and so on. And also, the forum members would benefit from industry projects, collaborative opportunities on leading-edge research developments. So as far as the research goes, this is just an illustrative list. It's by no means exhaustive. A lot would depend upon the faculty interest and the industry needs. Global sourcing is one area where we plan to do a lot of research. Inbound logistics that addresses the problems of imperfect supply chains. Supply chains in the developing world, I'm told, are called imperfect supply chains because we have so many other problems that the developed economies don't have. In terms of outbound logistics, our research will concentrate on dealer networks, and as far as production, planning, original equipment manufacturers, suppliers, and third-party logistics suppliers, synchronizing their schedules, it would be an important aspect. The so-called physics of service networks will include forecasting of demand for services, designing the repair centers, integration of manufacturing and after sales, because manufacturing and after sales are typically looked upon as different functions and so on. We're integrating these two. And the repair centers are hardly ever designed. They just grow up, and we want to plan on the design of this. The research would be done on this. And then, of course, RFID training and research. So as far as country-related kind of research, strategic matters would be the food supply chain. I think is very important. That's one we would concentrate on. How to make India a globally competitive hub would be another area, and how to make India a destination of choice for MNCs. Trade management, we always talk in terms of only tariffs separately from transport, but there's a trade-off between tariffs and transport, and our activities will concentrate on that also. And the design of special economic zones is another factor. I'm told that the government of Andhra Pradesh is thinking of having a special economic zone around somewhere close to ISB. So I don't think ISB will become part of the special economic zones, but we'll hopefully have the special economic zone somewhere close by where they want to make it as an international finance center, financial center, and so on. So hopefully that will come through. The revenue model for research is we would like to get research grants from the Indian government and foundations, both within the country and outside, research grants from companies and industry consortium projects, and of course unrestricted donations that will help in terms of the revenue model for research. So the deliverables as far as research goes is to have conference publications, journal publications, research publications, research reports to companies, white papers on emerging topics. Hopefully some of these white papers will influence the policy, the government policies. So that basically is our idea about the center, the activities. We look forward to the support from the various organizations, companies, and so on. And of course, we are very pleased that Deloitte is sponsoring this conference, and we hope, and besides the other universities, NYU Stern School, Purdue University, and that's the one at Purdue, I guess, right? Yeah. We hope that we'll continue to have all your support and look forward to taking this center to great heights in the years to come. So with this, let me once again take this opportunity to extend a very warm welcome to all of you, and I hope the deliberations